I'm paying, you know, the highest tuition there is to pay other than the international students. So the freeze is definitely going to be good for me in the long run.
I mean, I'm an in-state student, so I don't pay as much as everyone else is paying. I think it's definitely a good idea to freeze it, but I mean, personally, I think what we need to do is lower it. So I feel like this is only getting like half the job. I mean, but it's super good.
It's a good first step.
Yeah, it's a good first step.
This tuition freeze won't really help me since I'm graduating in May, so I'm kind of upset about that, but I think it's a great idea of what they're doing, and it really would have benefited me 2 or 3 years ago because tuition just kept increasing, and you know, it's hard on my family and myself, and, you know, college loans and everything.
It's nice to know exactly what it's going to cost the next 2 years. It's easier to plan that way. Yeah, it's not going down, but if history repeats itself, it'd probably go up. So I think it's beneficial. It's easier to plan for, and I'm always willing to not pay more.
My sister's going through high school, so she's about to be a freshman in college next year. So having less tuition for our family will help, just because my sister's probably going to go out of state, so less money, like spending less money would be good.
Well, tuition freeze, it's good for me being a sophomore, so only with 2 years of not changing tuition, it'll help out because I'm already out of state, so paying roughly $40,000 a year, you know, it adds up if they add on more and more each year, so it'll help my parents cut back, seeing as I have a sibling in college, sibling in private school, so it'll just be helpful.
Really good for me because me and my parents pay for my tuition almost to full. I have some loans, but I'm out of state too, so it's really expensive. But so since it's thing, I guess that lowers the amount of money that we would have to pay going up every year.
I was really surprised. Tuition's gone up since the 70s, and I thought it was a really neat move. And I don't know what it has to do with Mitch Daniels becoming president, but I think he's already engaging the students on issues that are important to students, and I think that's an issue of many students are thinking about in this time, economic crisis. So I think it's a really positive thing.
It's about time. It costs too much money to go here as it is. It's overpriced. I mean, I don't think it's necessary. We redecorate things all the time. I feel like we could give the money back to the students. A lot of changes could be made, and it could help students go to college that can't always afford it.
I mean, I think they give back more to students. I know in Brazil, where my mom's from, they as long as you get into school, they'll pretty much pay for your tuition. It's significantly cheaper to go to school there, as long as you have the grades. I think it should be more like that here, instead of us paying so much money, for public education. I think it'd help to educate more Americans.
I think it's a good decision, obviously, for students because tuition has been going up since like the mid-70s every year. So in economic times like this, I think it's probably a good idea to freeze tuition. I'm just interested to see how the reduction in tuition will affect university functions, like the amount of research that can be done because we're not keeping up with inflation anymore.
I thought it was pretty good. I think it's a good impression of Mitch Daniels.
I mean, it doesn't really affect me as much though, because I'm in-state, so I wouldn't be paying nearly as much as people out of state. But I mean, it doesn't seem bad.
I'm really thankful that President Daniels decided to freeze the tuition for the next couple years. Even though I'm a senior, I'm really glad for future generations of Purdue students that affordability might not be as big of an issue for those generations as it has been for myself and for older college students. I think that it's really helpful that President Daniels did this, and I really admire him for putting the students and their futures first.
I think it's a responsible thing to try and contain the cost of tuition. It's a responsible policy. However, I do have some reservation with the fact that it will prevent it could prevent growth within the way the university functions. Let's see. It's mainly it. I do appreciate how President Daniels said that it's time to start fitting the spending to the budget rather than the budget to the spending. I'm weary of what cost that will come. At what cost that will come.
I know that I'm from Illinois originally, and going to U of I got a scholarship to come here, so the price was basically the same or very comparable. One nice thing about U of I though was that as soon as you accepted your admission there, they would freeze your rate. So you would pay the same amount that you were paying as a freshman throughout all 4 years that you're there, or however many years that you're there. So you never had to worry about it going up.
Okay.
Even if it did.
Is that something you think would be good for Purdue to consider implementing?
I think it would be a good idea. Because I know that was one thing that my parents really liked about U of I. And that was one thing that I liked about it there as well. But of course I'm here, so Purdue does have other winning qualities.